With all the action going on the E3 trailer, it's very easy to overlook some of the more occult details going on behind the actual combat. A lot of gameplay mechanic changes were noticed and praised upon, but I feel that the magic changes that were also displayed were sort of left behind. Now, I want to go through a little overview. Know that I'll be mostly talking about basic magic elements such as ice, fire, and wind, not altered versions like incineration, deep freeze, wind cutter, or anything like that. The magic gameplay mechanics in the Kingdom Hearts series have always been pretty straightforward. You get a set of basic elements and some more unique spells. With some titles like Birth by Sleep and Chain of Memories, you get to take the basic elements even further and apply them to create physical attacks or different spells based off their originals. But overall, it's always stayed within a fixed array. You will get magical like projectiles, area of effect, supportive, or sabotage. And of course that's a great variety and all. But the unique effects that basic elements could provide all on their own are not as explored and often overlooked. Sure, with elements like fire you could deal critical damage to ice enemies and vice versa, but that's pretty much what it's limited to. And anyways, this was just a quick overview of the past mechanics. Now I want to take a look at what's in store for KH3. From the recent E3 trailer, we can see that magic spells are getting a lot more attention this time around, even the basic ones. We're gonna get some pretty cool combinations and some pretty realistic physics as well. It's not only reflected on the eloquent Keyblade light-up effects, but most importantly, on the unique effects basic magic has on combat. Let's start with fire. In previous titles, fire worked with sort of like a bullet effect or an area of effect. In the trailer, we can see a similar mechanic to elemental disadvantage. But this time around, you can see that fire can altogether vaporize water elements. Man, that would have made fire even more useful against that annoying Demix data battle.
Dance, water, dance! Dance, water, dance! Dance, water, dance!
But oh well. Anyways, whether this mechanic will be applied to other enemies or not is still unknown, but I personally think it should be. For our next spell, we have Arrow. Arrow is once again an offensive spell, only that this time around, we actually get to choose in the direction it cycles. Previously, Arrow would be an attack that would surround Sora and affect enemies nearby. This time around, we actually get to launch it out. Also, the spell seems to affect the environment. When Sora uses Arrow, the grass beneath gets blown into a spiral shape. However, the most notable mechanic change, and one of my favorite parts of the E3 trailer, comes from Blizzard. When Sora gets to Twilight Town, there are so many things happening that it's really hard to pay attention to the little details happening behind the scenes. Right at the start of the Twilight Town sequence, you can see Sora cast Blizzard and actually create a frozen path on the ground towards the large body Heartless. Then he skates over it, maybe with the help of flow motion, and uses it to propel himself onto the air. This is something we've never seen before. It brings a whole new window of possibilities to how magic will be used in KH3. A little later, we see Sora freeze one of the soldier Heartless. Previously, we couldn't attain this effect unless we wrapped our heads around mixing and matching commands to create a new one that could actually freeze enemies. Though, don't get me wrong, I actually really enjoyed having to figure out commands, but I've always felt that regular magic gets often underestimated. Anyways, I'm definitely interested in seeing more cool combinations like this. It could really add even more action and variety. It's a great addition, even more so since the combat has become more and more fast-paced. Well, this has been all for today's little discussion. Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section below.